In the sprawling landscape of Africa, where the sunsets paint the sky with hues of gold and the rhythms of nature pulse through the air, an extraordinary love story unfolded, one that will shake hearts and leave an indelible mark on the souls of those who heard it. In a small village by the coast, a young woman named Kobuna had captured the hearts of all who knew her. Her radiant smile and compassionate nature were like beacons of light in the community. Kobuna had grown up with a childhood friend named Chimekwenife, a gentle and kind-hearted man whose love for Kobuna burned fiercely yet silently. The villagers all knew Chimekwenife was in love with Kobuna, but fear of losing Kobuna if he told her that he was in love with her was a looming factor in his life. People who cared had told Chimekwenife to open up his mouth and tell Kobuna his inner feelings about how he felt for her, but he refused. I cherish the friendship I share with my beloved Kobuna and will not miss it for anything in the world, he would say to them. Thus, the friendship between Kobuna and Chimekwenife grew to unbelievable depths. Kobuna confided in him in almost everything, and he also did the same to her, and they all lived harmoniously in the community without Kobuna realizing the depth of want in Chimekwenife's heart for her. Chimekwenife had always felt that one day they would both get married, but until then, he was going to keep it within him for fear of losing his friend. One fateful day, during a gathering of friends in the chief's house, where the air was filled with celebration and the beat of drums echoed through the night, Kobuna was busy dancing to the rhythm of the drums when she lifted her eyes, and behold, it locked with that of a young man named Adichie. Adichie has been watching the graceful movements of the young lady, her body pulsating to the music as the drum beats melodically. Adichie in that moment looked at her, and the two of them, staring into each other's eyes, it was as if the world around them ceased to exist. Love, surprisingly, a strong one at that, bloomed like wildflowers in their hearts, unyielding and undeniable. From that very moment and from that very day, the two fell in love. The two lovebirds fluttered their wings about, and people started understanding that a new wave of love was in the air. Chimekwenife found his beloved attention being distracted from him by a new person, another man. His mother was furious with him for not telling Kobuna his true feelings. He walked about sorrowfully, crying his out at the scene playing before him between Kobuna and Adichie. He found himself tagging along behind the two lovebirds. Kobuna would run to him, bearing all she felt in her heart for Adichie to him, and he would sit listening and crying with him for the love he was about to lose. There was nothing he could do than to listen and cry within his heart. He was heartbroken, but he still held his head high for the value of friendship. Chimekwenife was a true friend indeed. Adichie was a brave and compassionate warrior. He was tall with a heart full of courage, and his eyes reflected the strength of his convictions. Kobuna and Adichie's love bloomed under the African sun, their spirits entwined like the branches of a baobab tree. Kobna and Adichie danced a lot amidst the swelling dust storms, their laughter echoing through the lands as they embraced the beauty of their shared moments, while Chimekwenife tagged along. Everyone who understood what Chimekwenife was facing and passing through pitied him a lot, for he had emaciated, knowing his arms were the rightful place for Kobna to be in. The heart of the person he so much loved belonged to someone else now. As time passed, the love shared by Kobna and Adichie ignited a spark of compassion and understanding that spread like wildfire. However, tragedy struck one fateful day. Destiny, as mysterious as the African continent itself, had a different path in store for them. A devastating illness struck Adichie, slowly draining the vibrancy from his body. Kobna, with unwavering devotion, became his guardian angel, tending to him day and night, her love burning brighter with each passing moment. As days turned into months, the weight of Adichie's illness bore heavily on Kobna's heart. Her once vibrant spirit was now tinged with sorrow, her laughter muted by the impending loss that loomed over them. And yet, her love remained steadfast, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Chimekwenife saw the lies drain from the face of the woman he loved and began to cry as he saw the love of Kobna's life dying. He decided to do something to try and see if he could really help to save Adichie's life. He wanted to bring back the light on Kobna's face and drive out the shadows under her eyes. Some other men would have left Adichie to die so that they would marry Kobna, but Chimekwenife was not that sort of a man. He left the village and on foot traveled to meet a famous healer he knew that lived in his mother's village, far away from where he lived. Chimekwenife pushed forward on the journey, fueled by his love for Kobna, and finally he arrived at the healer's place after several days of journey. The healer possessed an African wisdom and potent remedies hidden within the heart of Africa. He gave Chimekwenife the potent remedy and told him Adichie was at a dying point, but if he was able to get there before he died, he was to pour the potent into his mouth immediately. Collecting the potent from the old man, Chimekwenife thanked him and raced all he could towards his village. The love he had for Kobna most prominent in his heart. With tear-stained cheeks and a heart filled with anguish, Kobna watched as her beloved was battling with his life. He was whispering his final words to Kobna, about to die. Kobna was caressing his cheeks, sobbing. "If I'm gone, Kobna, please marry Chimekwenife," he whispered. "I've discovered he loves you so much. Do you understand me, my love?" "Kobna, if I'm gone, please marry Chimekwenife," he whispered. "I've discovered he loves you so much. Do you understand me, my love?" Kobna was crying, wiping her face as she listened to his words. "He loves you so much, so very much, and I want you to bleak that fact and marry him," he said, his eyes about to cover up. I won't," he stuttered, his eyes closing up, as he was about to give up the ghost. Chimekwenife, rushing in and looking like a madman, ran into the house. Quickly, he uncorked the potent and poured its contents into Adichie's mouth. He stood still, shaking and praying for miracle. He needed a miracle as he watched Adichie Everyone was standing around Adichie. Adichie's body started to convulse on the bed. Few minutes later, Adichie's eyes flickered open. A spark of life returned, and a smile graced his lips. Komuna embraced the love of her life as life returned to him, and then she turned to face Chimekwenife. The light in her eyes, lightening up her face, was enough for Chimekwenife, and he began to cry, happy that he has fulfilled a wish for a good friend, his childhood friend. Adichie recovered from the illness and he married Kobuna. They were forever grateful to Chimekwenife, and their first son was named after him. Adichie owed him his life and made Chimekwenife know that. He let Kobuna know that Chimekwenife was in love with her because people had let him know that, and he had realized it himself too late. Chimekwenife became a hero in his village, and everyone loved and respected him because he stood as a symbol of true friendship. Destiny favored Chimekwenife in life. He got married to a wonderful girl and became wealthy. Although he cared for his family, he never ceased to love Kobuna. That's the end of the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos to other groups who love African storytelling. Thanks for watching.